There are legends in many areas of life. Joe Montana is a legendary quarterback, Michael Jackson is a legendary performer, and Dave Chappelle is a legendary comedian. But in today's video, there's a kid who is already a legend on and off the field, the #1 ranked player in the entire class of 2022, Ohio State commit, and a hilarious dude off the field who rocks the sexiest mullet I've ever seen in my life. Yes, we are talking about Quinn Ewers, but you know on this channel we're probably going to focus more on the football aspect of his life, but by far one of the most polarizing prospects I've seen in a while. Starting off with the obvious, he has a nuclear arm. There's a viral video of him throwing the ball 85 yards in the air. Although it's hard to see where it landed, if they're not exaggerating, that would already put him up there with Mahomes and Josh Allen with who can throw the ball the furthest in the entire NFL. The first thing I want to touch on is how pretty of a ball he throws. With a guy like Quinn, you really have to look at the result of each throw and really appreciate what he does. Because originally when I was watching his highlights, I could not believe he was the #1 ranked player in the nation. He doesn't look that athletic. He doesn't have the best feet. He runs around kind of awkwardly and he's not ripped or 6'6". But if you watch the football on the film, you'll see a perfect spiral on time and in the perfect place with spot on accuracy. And through this lens of watching film and thinking, it doesn't matter what it looks like, it's always there. But then we need to check the numbers to see if it's just the highlights or that's how it is, and I confirm you it's definitely not just the highlights. In his sophomore season, he threw for over 4,000 yards, 554 yards rushing, and 54 combined touchdowns, completing 72% of his passes, and he only had 3 interceptions in the 14 games he played. Now these are kind of gaudy numbers that you would expect from a top player in the country. He followed this up with a junior season where he was on pace to have very similar numbers, even though he played 6 less games, and whether that was due to an early playoff exit, a shortened COVID season, or injury, I'm not too sure, but he has been consistently great, and I wouldn't expect anything different from his upcoming senior year. I expect him only to improve. So now let's talk about his game. Standing at 6'3", 200 pounds, he has a good frame. I think he'll fill out and gain some muscle, lose some fat when he goes to the intense college program that Ohio State has, but he will fill out. I'm not worried about his size. Now the thing that everyone talks about, his arm strength, and it's kind of deceptive because he can throw it a mile, but he doesn't throw the ball all that hard, like we saw from Clemson's newest quarterback DJ when he was in high school. But he can launch it and he has very good feeling for when to put touch on it and when to make it a line drive. His arm is big enough to make most throws, and I don't think it has a ton of weight room strength, but again, I think that's going to change when he goes to college. But he throws with great anticipation. He is accurate throwing on in-breaking routes, on out-breaking routes, and is money with the deep ball over the top. And he's able to be this accurate even when he's throwing off platform. And I'm not saying his feet mechanics are bad, but when everything is perfect, he's a clean pocket, he has very good feet. But what he has the ability to do is throw the ball at any second he wants to. If he starts sliding in the pocket and then sees a receiver, boom, the ball is out of his hand immediately. He doesn't have to wait and set up to make the throw because most of the time that's too late. But what I do think he needs to fix, however, is how he holds the ball when he drops back. If you notice, his neutral position is all the way down by his belly button. This causes for a slower and lower release than you would typically want, but I think this will be fixed very quickly at Ohio State within the first couple of months. As far as mobility, I think this is be a much more of a necessary thing rather than an actual threat. Like I said, you have to look at the results and not how it happened with this guy. He doesn't look like a very natural runner, nor does he have the breakaway speed, but after watching his games, I have to say, whenever they needed a first down, a couple yards, or the defense got caught up in man coverage deep down the field, he gets the job done and he moved the sticks. He is very calm in the pocket for a guy his age, and especially with the conference in Texas he played football in, he was playing very good teams week in and week out. He loved to push the ball down the field, but it was always calculated. There was games where he threw to 400 to 500 yards and 5 to 7 touchdowns, but he would methodically pick the defense apart pre-snap with bubble routes, quick hitches, slants, and unders, and never missed when the defense got sucked in. He was able to throw the ball over the top. Again, looking at the results, he is one of the most accurate quarterbacks I've seen in high school in a very long time. He is such a natural thrower of the football. I think that's why he can throw one of the prettiest balls with very raw mechanics. I think Ryan Day is not only going to love the talent, but the brain and the person Quinn Ewers is. He blew me away with his pre-snap reads, and any person with a mullet is going to be a good time in the locker room, and that is 100% proven by science. But let me know what you guys think. Again, when I first started watching him, I was not all that impressed. I wasn't that sold. I was like, no way this guy's #1. But just seeing everything he was able to do, it is so natural and effortless for him, and just proves that as he can throw the ball 85 yards without being super jacked, super big, or even like putting that much leg into it. Like, he's just such a natural thrower of the football and extremely accurate. I think what they're going to do is they're going to take like not his comparison, but Patrick Mahomes. He was so raw, but just so naturally good at throwing the ball. He got into a good system with Andy Reid. He was able to sit and kind of wait and watch and turn him into a polarizing prospect, and that's exactly what Quinn Ewers is, and he looks like an awesome guy. Not going to take everything too seriously, obviously, with the mullet, but he's just a guy that I think is going to do so good at Ohio State. But I want to know what you guys think, and make sure to like the video if you like videos like these. Make sure to comment down below what you think of this guy, if you've seen him before, and if you haven't, what are your first thoughts? And make sure to subscribe if you enjoy daily sports content. I am so sorry I've been gone for a little bit. I did have my 21st birthday. If my voice sounds a little bit weird or I missed 2 days, very sorry about that, but I'm back. Thank you guys so much for everything. Your guys' support is amazing, and as always, I will see you tomorrow. Peace.